Hello, welcome back to my channel, back to my recipe book. As you can see, I've pre-weighed out pretty much everything I could possibly do, pre-prepared everything. This is something that takes ages and ages and ages to cook. It takes an hour, and also you have to cool it for a considerable amount of time as well. So, basically this takes ages, and I've only got about 2 hours, and it takes an hour to cook and half an hour to cool, so we need to crack on with it straight away. But I've got another video I'm filming while I've got a clothing haul to do while this is cooking. But I pre-weighed out everything. If you saw yesterday's video, you will know that I went to Sainsbury's in my car and I bought ingredients for 2 recipes. I made one of them, the other one I'll save until tomorrow. So if you haven't seen it, you'll know that yesterday I made little blueberry cream tarts. And today you'll know that I'm making a coconut, raspberry and lime meringue slice. And I'm so excited I cannot even tell you. And tomorrow I am thinking of making carrot cake pancake, but as a maybe. So, if you know how to make meringue, you will know it's egg white and sugar. Now, egg white and sugar is how you make a meringue, and then you use cornflour to thicken it, but you don't always do that. But also I bought, we don't need this today, but quite a lot of recipes require baking powder, and I never ever have it. It's always a tablespoon of that, and I never have it. I also had to buy a massive thing of cornflour, and all you need is 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to tell you what you need for this. You need 5 egg whites, 280 caster sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornflour, 85 desicated coconut, flaked almonds, cream which is in the fridge, you don't need that till after it's cooked, icing sugar, zest and juice of 2 lemons, 200 grams of raspberries. My raspberry pot is 225, I'm just going to use all of them. And icing sugar, I forgot to buy icing sugar because I thought I had some and I only have a tiny bit. So I'm not sure I've got enough icing sugar, but we'll make that work. And also, as you can see down here, you need 3 rectangles greased. And when you grease them, you have to make sure you go right into the corners. So we're going to crack on and make this. Because it takes ages to cook. So what you need to do is separate 5 eggs. Now, I always half my recipes, always half, but I don't think it works if you half this one because you've separated into 3 tins. I don't think halving it will work, so I'm doing the full amount. If you do half an amount, you may only fill 2 tins rather than 3. And if you only have 2 tins rather than 3, it might not work layering and all that. So you need to separate 5 eggs, and if you get any yolk in the white, it will not work. So I'm going to show you how I do it. You can keep the egg yolk for other use, or you can just get rid of it down the drain. I might fish the egg because I don't want to do it. I've basically what I've done is I've weighed everything out and I've used like all the bowls. Because some bowls are still in the dishwasher, but I've used all the bowls that are clean, so I don't have a spare bowl. I don't have a bowl for shell, a bowl for egg white, and a bowl for yolk. So I'm going to put the yolk and the shell in one bowl, and then if I decide I want to keep the yolk, I can fish the shell out. If you get any yolk in, it will not work, and I tend to put it in my fingers and let the yolk run through my fingers. That's the trick that I do. Get the yolk to run through my fingers. Any yolk in it at all, it will not work at all. Then when you've done that, you can get your hands all clean. Probably like eggy hands. You don't need all of this right away. Some of it's for filling, some of it's topping. Now you've got to whisk this to firm peaks. So whisk the egg white to stiff. Whisk white to stiff. Gradually whisking the sugar to stiff again. See, basically you're whisking it till it becomes stiff peaks. Now this won't happen instantaneously. Someone decided to drill outside, which is absolutely great. And I'm not shutting the door because it's absolutely roasting and it's not raining for once. So this will take a while. I am looking into getting a tabletop mixer But because my kitchen is all like round the sides, I'm not 100% sure where it will go. And also they're about £500 if you've ever looked into getting one. So I've been looking at a tabletop mixer, and they are quite expensive, but this will be perfect. If you haven't made meringue before, you know the basics of egg white and sugar. If after like 5-10 minutes it hasn't whipped up, then the chances are you've got yolk in it. Or if it hasn't changed at all in a couple of minutes, check before you start doing it, because you'll be able to see lumps of yolk in it. And don't really get yolk in it because it is 5 eggs. And if you only bought a packet of 6, then you can't exactly redo it. If you bought a packet of 12, you could, but only once. So this is working. You can tell it's working because it's bubbling up. So just keep mixing it. It needs to go to stiff peaks. I will show you what that is when I get there. But until then, we're just going to keep mixing. Shouldn't take all that long. And mine's 100% working. If your arm's aching, change arms. Side to side is sometimes better than around and around. The longer you whip it, the better. If you over whip it, it's not really a big deal. So you can tell mine's getting there. Actually, I think we're basically there. Stiff peaks. It didn't take that long at all, did it? The thing is, you don't look. It needs to lift up, and if it stays where it is, then you know it's a stiff piece. You can't lose any of that air. But I'm concerned about the time it takes now to cook. So, whisking the sugar, so it's 280 sugar, until it's stiff again. My bowl on the tad small side for this. And then it says whisking the cornflour. Whisking the cornflour almost at the end of the first part, or well, the cooking part anyway. You have your oven on a high, so we're going to turn the oven on to 140 degrees. If you have it on highish temperature, it should do it in 50. And then you're going to put the cornflour in to thicken it, and that is 2 tablespoons of cornflour. Make sure it's well combined. You don't want lumps of sugar and then it says Fold in the desiccated coconut, so fold, you basically lift and move across, lift and move across, lift and move across, lift and move. You're basically turning it and then moving it over. Turning it and you're basically turning it and moving it over. You're not like continuously whisking. You're going to turn it. Don't want to knock out any of that air. Bash it on the side. I'm going to get rid of some of these balls. You don't actually need any of the lines or anything to last you. So I move the lines. I don't know if you can hear that drilling outside, really don't matter. And now it says, spread the mixture into even rectangles, scatter flakes across over top. So these flakes, you're going to scatter over one of them, and the one you scatter over, so whichever one that goes on is going to be the top. Whichever one has this on the top is the top. So whichever one you want to be the top, put them on, but only one. So you need to do it evenly. So I would say, don't put too much in. Don't put too much in because you want to make sure they're even. I don't really mind which one has the coat. Well, that one has way more in than that one to start with, so I'll put a bit more in that. And then whatever's left, I'm going to make sure you haven't like got virtually nothing for the end one. You don't really. You don't really want to have to do what I'm doing and moving it from side bit to bit. So now that's in, I'm going to wash my hands. I've got like mixture all over my hands. And now I'm going to cook this bag up. Thing is, I don't need a tiny amount. I have to buy this humongous bag. It really does bug me. Like desiccated coconut, I only use half the bag. So you can sprinkle desiccated coconut over one of them. Desiccated flakes. I've put rather a lot on, but I want rather a lot. So it's up to you how many you put on. The more the merrier, I say. So that's roughly how many I put on, but completely up to you how many you want to put on. Now I'm going to put them in one at a time. This one on the left, I know it's got the flakes in. This one in the middle, and then this one on the end. So basically what you do is, you put them into the 3 mix, scatter the flaked almonds over one of the meringue at the top and bake for 1 hour. Then turn off the oven and leave in there with the door shut for half an hour to cool. So it does need cooling time. It gives you plenty of time, so I need an hour and a half. An hour with the oven on, an hour with the oven on, and 13 minutes with the oven off. But you need to make sure your oven is completely turned off. You don't open the door. Once they're in, do not open the door or they will collapse. So you shut the door. You shut the door. So make sure in an hour you turn the oven off, and when you turn it off, do not open the door. Leave them in there for another 30 minutes to cool. So I would say about an hour and 50, well in an hour come back and turn the oven off. And then whilst they're cooling down, you can do the next step, which is whisk cream, icing sugar and lime zest and juice to thick consistency. Spread half over one meringue base, not the one with the flaked almonds on top, and save for the top. And scatter over the raspberries. Sit second meringue base on top and spread the remaining. It's basically making like a Victoria sandwich cake with meringue. So you have your base, you put the filling on, you put the other one on top, you put your base, you put the filling on, then put the second one on, put your filling on, and then you put your topping on with the flaked almonds, and then you put the top on, which is the one that's got the flaked almonds on. This is actually going to be very, very nice, and I honestly can't wait. So I'll see you in roughly an hour and a half. But don't forget after the hour to turn your oven off, but don't open it and leave them in for another 30 minutes. And I'll see you then. Time. They've been cooling down for about half an hour. The door is open so it's hot. But, oh, I'm on the wrong page. Because I'm on the little blueberry cream tart. I've just edited. I've just edited and uploaded that video. So in that whole hour, I edited and uploaded that video and cleared the kitchen. So yeah, that's very productive. So that video is now live. It's about 4:50. So if you want to go and check that out, that is up now. I edited and uploaded a video, so I'm very proud. And this video will be up tomorrow, on Tuesday, hopefully. So they all cooked very well, apart from your coconut, flaked coconut. What was it called? Yeah, flaked coconut have burnt a bit on top, but it'll probably still be alright. So we now need to do the filling part for. And then it just drops all the bowl. So we need to whip up some cream. I'm going to do it on a on my big chopping board. They've cooled down nicely. We're gonna. Oh, I didn't wash the whisk. So basically, you need two whisks. You need a whisk for the meringue, and you need a whisk for the cream. So I just quickly washed that with our meringue mixture on it. If you've got two whisks, then feel free to use both of them. One for meringue and one for cream. If you haven't got two whisks like me, then you'll need to get. So you need double cream. You need double cream. You need 300ml double cream, or whipping cream would also work, but not single cream. Do not get single cream, because single cream. You can actually, it's quite cute. You can see in the background over there my laptop where I've been sat editing and uploading a video. Anyway, so you need the whole 300. You can't get 300 pints like me. Whipping cream would work, but double cream, if you can't find that, then whipping cream. But don't get single cream, because single cream will not whip and you'll be there for like forever. So it says whisk the cream, and you also need the icing sugar, but I don't think we have 50 grams, so I'm just going to put all of it in. And we now need. So this is a true fact about. Limes. Lemons have pips in. Limes don't have pips in. So there's no pips in limes. Actually, you need the zest on it first. You need to zest it before you juice it. I've got a juicer like this, but there's no point. If it's lemon, use this. But because it's lime and there's no pips, you could do it straight into the bowl. But if it is lemon, if you are using lemon for anything, make sure you use one of these to get the seeds out, like a juicer. But because limes don't have pips in, you can do it straight into the bowl. I've actually got a cute mini one from Christmas crackers. I'm going to use that. Be careful with fingers if you're doing this. So you want 2 limes. You want zest and juice. And as I said, lemons, use a juicer to get the pips out. It doesn't matter if you can still use a juicer if you want, but it doesn't have pips in, so you can do it straight in to the thing. And now I'm going to cut them over here. I don't particularly want to do it the bowl, that's why I'm going to make it. As you can see, no pips. Or you can also do it 3 fingers. That's something I learned on a Sunday brunch. You're going to do the juice of another one. This one's a lot firmer. And I'll put them bits in the bin. Now you're going to whip it up. Don't over whip it. I know people always say when you oh, great. Got on my trousers. It's not a really big deal because they can just go in the wash, but do taste it to make sure there's enough flavour in it. That's quite nice actually. So, can't believe I got it on my trousers anyway. Now you're going to take them out base by base. You're going to take that looks like the size of a cake, look at that, and just pure meringue. So it says oh, I've got down my t-shirt as well. So you're going to spread it. You might need a palette knife, but we might. Oh, I've just broken it, so it is very fragile. So do be careful because it's very, very fragile. I've just broken it a little bit, but we're going to roll with it. But be careful. It's very, very fragile. Now we're going to put some raspberries. We're going to put some of the raspberries on. So we're going to place them on like across. I'm going to just put them on and then I'm going to like move them around. Then you get the other bit of meringue that doesn't have the flakes on. And you're going to put that on top like so. Then you're going to use all your remainder cream. This one has also broken a little bit, but because it's very, meringue is very fragile. So it will break fairly easily. I'm just going to try and spread it to the edges without breaking it. I knew that paper would end up on the floor because that's just how it works. And then we're going to put the top layer on, and then we put the final top on, which is the one with the almond flaked coconut, but it's stuck to the paper. God's sake, it's stuck. Gonna push it all down, and that is technically it. So that is our meringue. I don't know why it's so big, but that is the meringue. Let me just wash my hands, and then we'll slice it open and have a taste. There is quite a lot of washing up to do because obviously I use quite a lot. I don't know why it's so big, but I forgot to put raspberries in the second layer. So now I've got loads of leftover raspberries. Make sure you put raspberries in both layers. So there. Not really. Kind of collapsing everywhere. I think we'll just take the end bit off. And then, don't know why, it's just full on size collapse. Full on late collapse. So, but I've got a piece out of it, so if I can actually get it up without breaking. It's a bit breakage. That's the thing. It breaks very easily. So now I'm going to put all the edge pieces in this bowl. I'm going to wash my hands and then we're going to do the taste test. And now we're going to do a taste test. Now to do the taste test. This is my piece. It's quite a big piece, but we're going to go for it. So we've got the cream, the raspberry, the meringue. It's very nice. If I do say so myself. I'm going to give that like a 7 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, And try it out yourself because it's very, very nice. And I'll see you so very, very soon. Thank you and goodbye.